Recently, while watching ESPN's Get Up, Mike Greenberg asked this question: why is it so hard to identify a franchise quarterback? Hi, this is Coach Dan Williams with Character Advantage. This is a question that analysts, scouts, and fans have been wrestling with for decades. And even though we invest millions into scouting, the truth is that success in trying to identify a quarterback is surprisingly low compared to other positions. Why? Well, part of the reason is that the traditional metrics only tell part of the story. We love to measure things like arm strength, height, speed, agility. And yes, those matter. But many of the quarterbacks who rise to greatness succeed because of something else. The intangibles: vision, adaptability, leadership, decision-making under pressure. These aren't easy to measure. They don't show up on the stat sheet. And yet, they often make all the difference in the world. And history proves this point. The NFL has a long record of misjudging quarterback prospects. Some guys get drafted early and never pan out. Others, like Tom Brady, were picked late the 6th round and they go on to change the game forever. It's not just about raw talent. What happens after the draft matters just as much, maybe even more. Some quarterbacks fail not because they lacked ability, but because they landed in the wrong environment. Maybe the coaching didn't fit their personality. Maybe the scheme didn't play to their strengths. Maybe the organization didn't have the patience. Without the right support system, even the most talented prospects can underperform. Perhaps you're an athlete that is experiencing this right now. Or you're a parent of an athlete that is watching your athlete go through this experience. I want to hear from you. I provided a link in the description section below where you can schedule a free 30-minute call with me where I will listen and help you navigate these waters. And then there's the pressure. Quarterbacks come with high costs and high expectations. Teams feel forced to take one early in the draft. And then those players don't succeed right away and the pressure can actually crush them. Here's where it gets really interesting. When we talk about intangibles, what I believe we're also talking about is character. Things like humility, self-awareness, accountability. These are hard to measure with traditional metrics, but they impact long-term outcomes in a big way. But how can we measure the heart? I believe it is possible to measure character, but only if we create the right data points. The first thing that I do is help you identify your values. I like to start this process by asking you to identify what attitudes you're looking for in your athlete, or even what attitudes you don't like to see. This exercise helps you identify your values, what's important to you. And a few that I've identified with a high school team include the following: discipline in action, giving no excuse, or accountable to each other, just doing your job, or vulnerability in growth, or being proactive in success. Then I've designed an assessment that asks the players questions weekly, and maybe most importantly, it's learning how they handle the ups and downs of their journey. Through this assessment, I can convert the answers into what I call the character load calculator. This gives me, as a coach, a view of the week-over-week progress of our team's character growth around our team values. Think of it like an iceberg. Above the waterline, you see the obvious: talent, skill, statistics. But below the waterline lies the heart, the values and character that really drive performance. If we want to identify true franchise quarterbacks, we need a dashboard that looks deeper, one that captures both the measurable and the hidden. Because in the end, competition always reveals what's beneath the surface. So the next time you hear the debate about franchise quarterbacks, remember this. It's not just about an arm strength or stats. It's about the heart. The scoreboard is temporary, but what's below the waterline, the character, that's forever.